Hello, Mikael, and welcome to the first inaugural edition of the Maintenance Analytics Summit here in Stockholm. It's a pleasure having you with us today.
Thank you.
So before we go on with further questions, can you please tell us more about your background and your area of expertise?
I'm an engineer as a background, but I worked a lot with business, on the business side, very close to customers. I worked for 7 years plus now at ABB and their service organization, both as a sales representative, account manager, product manager for developing our service portfolio. And now lately I'm operating or I'm managing our collaborative operations center from where we deliver our digital solutions for our customers.
Great, Mikael. Now more on the general aspect of the topic. Predictive maintenance is lately, if I may say, a hot topic when it comes to asset management.
Definitely.
And when it comes to maintenance in general. So where do you see the biggest challenges of deploying data into bringing actual value in maintenance, into bringing insights, failures and cost optimization and stuff like that? What is stopping companies to apply this approach?
It's a super interesting topic. This is my favorite. That's why I had this talk where I think that the problem is that we are not used to doing business in this manner. We're used to, or from at least from where I come from in industry, right? So we are used to more buy something like products or projects. But when we're talking about is AI or IoT or advanced analytics and so on, then you can't really buy this kind of automation, this level of automation. You can't buy digitalization off the shelf. You need to do that. You need to develop that in collaboration with the supplier. And we are not really used to, first of all, which I think is absolute key, to have that trust between each other, between suppliers, between suppliers, between customer and supplier, between all stakeholders. We don't really have that. I think the key word is trust here. And we also don't have the organizational structure to enable this sort of agile environment which is needed. We need to take competence from many different silos or business units or so, from different stakeholders to get that full potential in digitalization, and we are not really used to that. We've done well in some cases. We have some early adopters, which we can talk about, but it's just a few. What is interesting now is that we're doing this at scale. We're introducing this kind of advanced analytics and the power of digital transformation at scale to the whole industry. And this requires this kind of trust built in the business model.
Mikael, you gave a talk titled "The Algorithm is Never the Problem Yet," in which you highlighted the importance of how advanced analytics can be delivered in the most successful ways. Can you just reveal a bit more, please, on this?
Yeah, so the background is, I think, in forums like this, or we tend to talk a lot about the technology behind it. How can we use AI? How can we use certain algorithms? Machine learning is a hot topic right now. How can we use that? And which is interesting. It's really good. But I don't think that we're really there. Or from what I've seen, is that we have a lot of algorithms and a lot of smartness that works. But to bring them out, it's not that obvious. Even if I tell you, you know what, if you buy this product from me, you're going to be 5% more productive. That's astonishing. It's great news. You know, who wouldn't buy it? But actually don't. It's not that obvious that our customers buys this, even if it's great. So there's something else. It's not the technology. It's about trust, how we are organized, how we help our customers. So this is what I love working with, to kind of try to make it easy for our customers to make good decisions, to enable this kind of transformation from a business perspective.
Well, it is said that digital transformation and predictive maintenance are digital twins. How true is this?
Yeah, I don't know if I heard that term, but I think what you're referring to here is maybe it starts
one without another cannot function.
Yeah, but it starts kind of with, when we say maintenance, it's really boring. It sounds really boring. And when we talk about machine learning, that's really, really cool. And now these two worlds are coming together.
Yeah.
And this is a super interesting topic. It's also a challenge because the maintenance guys or production maintenance, they need to adapt, get new knowledge. And also this kind of IT world needs to get to know more about OT and the processes. So it's a challenge there. And yeah, the whole key word from where I stand is collaboration. We need to just, across borders, we need to solve things more together in a
cross-functional collaboration.
Cross-functional teams, multidiscipline networks, call it whatever you like. But the key is to get the right competence for the right for this specific topic right now, and then we see where it gets us.
Well, from your perspective, if you were asked from these organizations who are just in the beginning of their journey for embarking in the predictive maintenance, what would you suggest? Where should they start? What should they prioritize?
I think a lot of companies did a long journey already. If you look at the productivity has developed quite a lot lately, and that is because two factors, I think. First of all, renewal of the products they have installed and the systems. You need to have a certain level of technology to work with to enable digital transformation or enable these analytical tools to work. If you want to get the data, you should be able to do that. So that's first things first. And then number two is basically what a lot of people did to kind of structure their assets to what is important for us. Which assets are important. This is from a maintenance perspective, right? So to highlight that this asset here is the most important for us right now, and then what can we do to meet the level of our expectations here, on this particular asset. And here a lot of companies came very far, and some have a way to go there. But this is kind of basic, I think, these two. On top of that, this becomes interesting now because when we're talking about digitalization, then I think this is basic, fine, there's a lot to develop here, but there's also so much more you can do. So if you let's say have a platform where you actually gather the data and you can use advanced analytics to predict problems, then you also have a lot of data to work with in other ways. Maybe you can add another factor or two, and that creates completely new business models for you on new fields or new products that you can do, or so on. So more people needs to get involved.
One last question, Mikael.
We have sorry for interrupting, yes, but we have an approach to this that we have created, and it's kind of a proof of concept. So what we're trying to do is that we're getting our customers, or everybody involved, all stakeholders around the table, to talk about what are they expecting when it comes to digitalization. And then it's always maintenance issues, but it's also other things that comes into play. It's always a very interesting dialogue. And then our approach is basically, okay, but let's try that. Let's take one out of all these 10 ideas that we have. Let's take one that is easy to fix. We collaborate among that. Open cards, we show each other what we do, and we open about what is important for each and every one of us. And we try to do something and show, here is what we can do. Was this valuable or not? And from there you go to the next and next, and then you get used to working in this kind of small iterations and this more dynamic teamwork.
Mikael, where do you see in the near future predictive maintenance going? What can you say that will happen?
What we know is that we know very little about the future, and it's very hard to predict stuff, especially in the future. But from our perspective, I think that this kind of to buy for our customers, I think it will be normal for them. It will be the norm. Let's say in 2 years it will be the norm to buy predictive maintenance from us as a supplier on their. If we deliver a complex system, I think it will be the norm that we also deliver some sort of support in maintaining that in optimal way. And I think that we have, let's say in 2 years, we will have a much better understanding of what digitalization can do, what we can do with the data that we gather, and the possibilities. Because for each example that we get, or each good example, then we can, then it leads to 10 new possibilities.
Mikael, let me thank you very much for being part of the Maintenance Analytics Summit. Thank you for your insights, and thank you for accepting to conduct this interview.
Thank you very much. Thank you.